All right, let's get a little focus going on here. Don't have a lot of time sitting right here, but yeah, I had enough time after work to get started on something, so I'm not gonna waste any time. All right, time to go. My name's Brian, by the way. Today is the day to break ground. Now, yeah, of course the wind picks up a little bit. Yeah, just had to go take care of the chickens real quick and do my morning chores. But I had about an extra hour, give or take. So at least I wanted to get started. I was gonna spend all day Saturday doing this, but apparently we have plans now. So it's cool, it's good plans. Gonna be hanging out with some neighbors and whatnot, and doing a little barbecue and stuff like that, so that's cool. But yes, this picked up a tiller. This is an Earthquake Victory. I forget the model number on it. Yeah, so I don't have a model number on it, but it's a 16-inch rear till. There we go, got it going. It was choked still, so it's kicking out smoke and stuff like that, kind of flooding out. But yeah, I'm gonna get going, see if this thing works. Now, so right off of the bat, see if I can focus on my hand. Nice, kind of powdery, good looking soil, kind of clumps together. So yeah, the soil's a lot better down here than it is up there. There's a lot more clay up there. So yeah, I think I picked a good spot for it. I'm gonna get going. All right, so I'm gonna take a break right there. Let me kneel. Yeah, I got lots of grass, lots of organic compound. But yeah, on the tiller, it seems to work okay. I think I was going a little bit deep, so it was really struggling to kind of pull itself along. I got it adjusted in a little bit better to where it's a little more shallow. I was kind of hoping to get more done on the first pass, but it's gonna take multiple passes. So it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time today. I'm going to have to continue this Saturday morning probably. So I want to get this done before the ground freezes though, for sure. But yeah, this little Earthquake, it seems to do pretty good. I'm getting excited. This is super exciting. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to get as much done here as I can. And I will probably be back on Saturday or the next time I finish this all up before I continue. So I'll get back to you then. It is a couple days later now. It's a lot more windy outside, so hopefully it's not too bad. It calmed down here for a second. But yeah, you give me a little bit of time and I start thinking. Not always a good thing. So there's two different ways to do this as far as you know, killing everything off and stuff. There's a till and no till. I eventually got my silage tarp in, the plastic. So I'm really anxious to get that down and get this process started. It takes a couple months to really get a good kill on it without doing any till. So going over the winter time, it's in the fall right now. It's November 13th. So it's gonna give me December, January, February, March kind of to get this all killed off. So it's plenty of time. I don't want to be out here messing with much in the winter time when it's, you know, single digits and stuff. So yeah, I want to get it done now. So I started tilling it, as you remember. You know, these rows right here, as you can see. But I started thinking, you know, when you till it, you got to do kind of multiple. You want to water it down, germinate all the seeds, tarp it, take the tarp off, re-till it, stir up any more of those seeds, and then tarp it again. And maybe even 3 times. And that could be the best way to do it, because you're really going to get deep into it and really kill off everything. But here's the thing. If you look, like I showed you before, I have a lot of growth in this area. I cut it down, the grass was in seed, and I have piles and piles of cut grass. And I started raking it, thinking, okay, I'm gonna get rid of a lot of this stuff before I start killing it off. Get rid of a lot of the seeds and a lot of that grass, plus I'll be able to use it for mulch later on. But man, that's a lot of work. Because I mean, it's really blended into us trying to pick up powder out of carpet, if you will. You know, I mean, it's really hard to get it all out. So I kind of gave up on that. I worked on it for about 45 minutes. I got maybe 1/20th of the lot taken care of, and just figured that's going to be too big of a taxing job to really reasonably attack that. So I decided against it. Plus my back was hurting. I still kind of have my back issues going on. So I kind of decided, well, I already started it, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a test. I'm going to go ahead and tarp this off pretty much as it is. I think I might do, well, no. I mean, I got 1 row plus a walkway that's going to be tilled up. So I'll be able to see whether that is actually going to be more weeds in the future or less weeds. So yeah, it's a good little test. I was going to do 50-50, but it's like, why? I think not tilling it's going to be a little bit more favored for a better idea, just because of how much grass seed I have and weeds and stuff like that. So yeah, a little bit of a change of plans. Yeah, as you can see way out there, I have a wheelbarrow. I've been piling it up. It's right behind the camera right now. I have a pile of the grass and stuff that I was pulling off. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. So should be interesting. It's a little bit of a breezy day today. I want to get that tarp out as 105 foot by 50 foot. So yeah, wish me luck on that. So yeah, I have some bricks and stuff, a couple rocks. I don't have a lot to really anchor this thing down. I haven't picked up sandbags yet. I've heard using these that regular sandbags, it's a plastic base, like plastic woven mesh, kind of like a potato bag or something like that. They're called a lot of different things, but it's slick, and you put it on slick plastic, it's real easy for that plastic to pull out from underneath it with just a little bit of a breeze. Now here, especially over the winter time, we get some heavy winds. We live in just a windy area, you know. That's going to cause some issues later on how I build the fencing and stuff like that, on what I'm going to do with that. Maybe get some sort of windbreak in there. But as far as the tarp goes, I'm definitely going to have to get it down pretty good. But I want to get it down right now. If it pulls up a little bit, I can come out and fix it. And over time, I'm going to buy some sandbags. But about those sandbags, if you get the regular sandbags, they have a tendency to slip out. But they have these ones that are long, skinny tubes that you can run perpendicular to the outside of the tarp. They have a tendency to work pretty good. A lot of people are saying that's the only way to go. So yeah, by the way, what do you think? Chicken pot pie, huh? Shirt? Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start laying down this tarp and see if it can get done. It's about 15 mile-an-hour winds right now. A couple gusts, maybe 17 or something. So we will see. It's coming from that direction. So maybe I'll start on this side and work the tarp out. But it's a big tarp. It doesn't look that big when it came shipped. It's a tube about that big around, and it's about 4 feet long or so. So I'm kind of curious. It actually says 50 by 105 on it. 5 mil, which isn't the thickest, but I also didn't want to spend $1,500 on a tarp. So it is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the tarp and we'll see how it goes. It might be comical. All right. So I've been at this for about an hour. And basically what I'm doing, I don't know if you'll even be able to see it, but I'm basically going along the perimeter here, because along the fence over there, when I mowed it, I just blew everything up against the fence. So it was pretty thick with the cut grass. I figured that I'm gonna have to get that off and get it all up. When I started kind of going through it and thinking about the idea of throwing the tarp down right now, quickly realized that there's way too much grass shavings, cut grass on top. It's like 3 to 4 inches thick, just about everywhere. I just don't see that to be a good thing to tarp over. Yes, it might compost down, but there's a lot of seed and a lot of bad things in there. So I plan on doing some compost with it whenever I till it in before I plant. So I'm not really worried about making sure that things compost in. There's definitely going to be a lot of grass that's going to get mixed in compost. It's going to be more normal. I'm kind of at the point right now to where it's very excessive. But yeah, I got a lot of work ahead of me before I can even get that tarp down. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do rows. You can see maybe I'm starting the second row. It'll be 4 or 5 rows going down the center of the plot here, and then I'll go through with the wheelbarrow, pick it all up, pile it up. Might use it for compost, might not compost, but kind of a substrate for the walkways and stuff like that. I have this pile right here. I have another pile started down yonder. You probably won't be able to see it. It's kind of wide angle, so. But yeah, I have a lot of grass shavings, so if the wind doesn't blow it all away by the time spring rolls around, I'll be able to use it. I'll probably get some wood shavings and stuff as well, or mulch or something to be able to lay down in the walkways. We go through a lot of cardboard, so I'm probably going to lay down some cardboard. I use it also for fires whenever I clean chickens. I realize that now, you know, getting rid of the guts and the carcasses and stuff like that can be a pain. I found out just burning it works pretty good. So I'm saving some of the cardboard right now to be able to burn off some stuff whenever we call the chickens. So yeah, I'm gonna work at this a little bit more. This is the second day of working on it. This is probably gonna be a multi-day video, so hopefully it's not too long. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep working on this. Pretty much ready for a break right now. It started out pretty cool. I got this long sleeve black shirt on. I'm getting pretty warm in it. So I may take a break, get something to drink, maybe change out. I still have to work tonight, so I got to get some sleep. So I'm just doing what I can today. So we'll see how it goes. I'll get back with you. It'll probably be another day, and that'll be right here. All right, well, let's see if I can do this. Yeah, that thing's about 120 pounds and awkward. I don't even know how it's gonna unwrap yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and start unwrapping it and see where I need to put it to undo this thing. Jeez. Well, so far so good. It's about 103 feet long. And even at this point, I forget if it's 50 or 60. I think it's 50 wide. So we'll see. I got some of the stumps and cut up ash. I'm gonna go ahead and try spreading it out and see how that goes. I laid it out. It's exactly 100 feet, maybe 102 feet. So hopefully they give me a little bit extra on this side as well. We'll see if that's long. Yeah, that's pretty heavy. So let's try it. There's one corner. So as I'm pulling it out, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a couple stumps down. Ah, yes, it's a beautiful thing when a plan comes together. So it's gonna be just a little bit longer than I expected. Probably about 105 feet. I'm getting hot. It's only like 40 degrees outside and I'm sweating. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and extend it out. I'm gonna try to get as much of the air out and creases and all that stuff and just smooth it out. Make it the best I can so it's not gonna pick up air. The good thing is, over on this side is where most of the winter storms come in. And it's gonna have a little bit of protection with the grass along the fence line. Because it's still about a foot tall, it's probably gonna stay there and just be dormant. And hopefully, if I remember and everything still goes good, about the time I start tilling it up and everything, I'll go ahead and take a weed whacker and cut all that down. And then hopefully I'll be putting some sort of trim around the outside to kind of keep the grass at bay, but we'll see. But for now, I'm just gonna keep at it. Yeah, luckily got these for firewood. No axe is going through ash, so I've been trying to figure out what to do with this stuff. This puppy right here's 80 pounds maybe, 60 pounds, I don't know, it's heavy. So yeah, I'm gonna use the big ones on the perimeter and lighter ones in the middle, just kind of keep the air waves down. So, all right. Now from what I understand, you want to have a lot of weight, but you want to have 5-8 foot gaps between the weight, sandbags or whatever you use, to allow a little bit of air to flow through. Otherwise, kind of get the aerodynamics going on, the wind will go above it, and it'll start pulling the middle up, slip it from underneath your whatever weights you have, pull it up like a balloon and rip the whole thing off in a windstorm. So from what I've heard, we will see to leave some gaps for the air to flow underneath. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and go back. I'm gonna grab some more wood, fill this thing up, and the next time I talk to you guys should be close to spring, and we'll start checking out what's going on underneath this thing. All right, so it is now April 14th. So it has been about 4 months. It's time to go ahead and take a look at how this has been. I actually did get a peek at it a little bit earlier, and I recorded the video. I wanted to do it like you're seeing it the first time I'm seeing it. But then I realized my microphone was dead, and well, I had to charge my mic and start over. So I'm actually gonna check it again real quick. All right, so yes, it is working. That's a good thing. So yeah, it's been about 4 months. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Is it time yet? I'm gonna go ahead and pull this all back and we'll take a look. It's actually looking pretty good. Let me go ahead and take you with me here real quick, show you what's going on. Okay, so I noticed there were these bumps. Now you're not really gonna be able to see it through the tarp. Maybe a little bit over in that area, you might be able to see a couple, but trying to figure it out. And check this out. No sunlight, basically no water, and it's like sprouts. Let me throw them out. Very green smelling. But yeah, these grew with no sunlight and basically no water. Now most of the grass has definitely been killed off. You can see it's nice and brown. You can see that nice fine line right there. So yeah, that's my footsteps going through. Very interesting. I don't even know what this is, but it's definitely growing pretty much throughout the whole thing. So I had a baby frog just go by. But yeah, let's see if I can do this. So it's a little bit of clay. It is moist, but I mean, it's kind of crumbling apart. It definitely has some clay in it, but that's some nice dark soil for sure. Yeah, the tarp kind of pulled away, so there's some grass growing there. That's what it should have looked like, but this is basically what it looks like. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and till this in because most of the grass is killed off. But there's these things, which is weird. Not even sure what it is. It's got to be one of the weeds, maybe a clover of some sort. But I have a feeling if I leave it out here in the sunlight with the way these are looking, they are going to explode. So I'm either going to have to cover this back up or start the tilling, and I might just start the tilling. So yeah, there's a big one out there. You're probably not going to see it. Like right over, kind of in that area. Yeah, it looks like there's a big one. So yeah, that's what it's looking like. I think I'm going to start tilling. Yeah, I definitely want to get this garden going. This has been 4 months. I would say it's fairly ready. It is a little bit moist, which is interesting and a little bit concerning. How did the moisture get in there? Is it flowing in from the rest of my yard, going underneath the tarp and running down? I'll find out a little bit more, I think, once I get down to the other side of it, see if it's dried out a little bit more or not. But I'm not really going to be able to let it dry out because that is going to let those, whatever they are, start going crazy. So I don't want that to happen. I definitely don't want them to sprout into seed, bolt, and all that kind of stuff. I want to try to keep the weeds suppressed here. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just going to go destroy. And it is a little bit moist, so I don't know how that's going to go with the tiller, but I suppose we'll find out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this whole thing back and see what the rest of it looks like. All right, so I'll have to see what happens. I don't know, for some reason my camera keeps shutting off and I keep having to retake these shots, and I'm not too happy about that. Come on, Canon, what are you doing? So one of the big things was where I tilled and where I did not till. Right when I first started this, before I laid the tarp down, I was going to till the whole thing first, pull it back, till it again, pull it back, till it again, and then add the compost and get gardening. But I decided to go ahead and not till it except for this row right here. And I was curious if it was going to make a difference or not. So we can see this here compared to there. And I think it might be a little bit less on growth. Look at that, a snake. Yeah, hopefully you can see it. It's cool. Little gardener snake. Yeah, I would pick it up and show you guys if I had a hand-free, non-poisonous, good for the garden, keep the mice in check. But yeah, I mean, here's a definite row that I tilled. It's definitely wetter. It seems a lot more dry in the middle, but it's definitely wet on the edges here from the rains and stuff like that blowing in. Plus, walking on the tarp just a little bit poked some holes in it. Not that it would allow a whole lot of light and water in, but a little bit. Maybe enough. Maybe that's what those are. Maybe those little hole right there. I don't know. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. I am pretty happy with this. It's showing a little more clay than I originally saw. It's really flattening down like that. But that's nothing some compost won't take care of. And yeah. So here we go, 1,600 square feet of delicious vegetables on the way. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is run a pathway in the middle, probably about 4 or 5 feet wide to separate the rows. I'm gonna do 5 or 6 rows here and then 5 or 6 rows down there on the back side. The back corner, as I showed my plan, I believe I posted on the community part of YouTube, and showed a picture of it, my whole plan and layout. It's going to be, I got 28 vegetables that are going to be going in. In the whole back corner, about 1/5 of the garden is just going to be corn. So I'm still figuring out what irrigation to use. I am not sure if I'm going to go with a drip system, go with a soaker hose, go with a drip tape, or go with overhead sprinkler style. All my taller vegetables are going to be in the middle. Mostly I did that for the sunlight, but if I decide to go with a sprinkler, it's going to be good for that too. I'll probably run 3 along this side and then 3 along that back side. Unless I can get really good coverage, and I'll do 2, but I think most likely it's going to be 3. Then I can run that in 2 different zones, to where I can run half of it, you know, and then let that finish up and then run the other half to keep the pressure correct and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I'm at on that. Of course, everybody says go with drippers, go with soaker hoses, get the water down to the roots and all that kind of stuff. But with a garden this size, you have to get a little creative with it. At least run water into both sides of each soaker hose that you run. So if you're running 5 rows and you're running 2 or 3 soaker hoses per each line, that's a lot of water that's going to be getting put just to that 1/2 of the garden. So if you run a jiggler or sprinkler head, you're going to cover it all really easy, really simple. So I'm not sure which way to go with it. Maybe let me know what you guys think. I know it's definitely going to go towards keeping the water on the ground, don't water the top of the plants. And I've read that quite a bit as well. So yeah, that's a debate. So anyway, yeah, this is what it's looking like right now. Happy and excited to get this started. I have to go in and cook some dinner here shortly, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get in here and really start digging into it. This is Sunday. I'm going to be working Monday. I'm going to have Monday morning to get out here and do some stuff, but I have a whole bunch of chores and errands to go do as well. So maybe it was a bad time to pull this back, you know, because I might not be able to get to it until next weekend. Yeah, it's like 85 degrees out here. I'm actually kind of sweating because I'm used to the cold. But yeah, it feels great. Beautiful day in the Ozarks. This is why we moved here. So anyway, yeah, kind of bouncing around and cricket talking to you guys and stuff like that, and I apologize about that. But just wanted to give you how this all turned out. So kind of liking it. Ready to get this game started, ready to get gardening. And I was even looking at a couple plants, broccoli and stuff like that, because broccoli's hard to get started, so that's not a bad thing to get as a plant. So, all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this part of it up. I'm gonna be giving continuous updates constantly on this. This is going to involve a lot of my life, to say the least. I'm gonna be doing everything by hand. I'm gonna be sowing directly to the ground. I'm not gonna be using a grow house, seed starting house, UV lights. I'm not gonna be using any of that stuff. I'm going to be doing it the hard way, but I want to make sure I can do it the hard way before I take advantage of doing things the easy way. So yeah, that's about where I stand on it. So yeah, 4 months in the making here. Hopefully you guys enjoy kind of seeing how this turns out, seeing the till versus no till using the tarp, clearing out the land and stuff like that. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. So I do appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe, hit the like. I would really appreciate that. I don't get all the good algorithms through Google because I don't really care about it. So if you could help me out, that would be awesome. I do appreciate it. And I will be updating on this shortly. And I guess till next time, peace.